Okay, let's talk about breast implant removal. I got mine out 4 weeks ago, so I'm 4 weeks post-op and I feel so good. And I just want to share with you why I decided to get them out, a little bit about my journey, my recovery so far, some tips that I've learned along the way, and let's get into it. My name is Katie and I'm a functional nutritionist. Okay, so a little bit about my personal story. I got my implants when I was in my mid-20s. At the time, I was over-exercising. I lost a lot of weight and I lost it from my boobs as well, which is pretty common. And so like a lot of women who get them, I decided to get them because I just didn't feel confident, I didn't feel sexy, and I thought that that was the solution. And at the time, it served its purpose, right? We had a great 8 years together. And so yeah, I got them in my mid-20s. Everything was good, except within a year after getting them, I was in a bad car accident, which left me with a traumatic brain injury. Now, this actually shifted one of my implants slightly. Not super noticeable, but I could notice it. And so I got cut open again on one side and they fixed it. So 2 surgeries within 1 year, okay? And then a few years went by, I was dealing with my traumatic brain injury symptoms, and then I got really sick. And eventually I got diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune thyroid condition. Now, I say that because both of these things, traumatic brain injuries and Hashimoto's, the symptoms are very similar to those symptoms of breast implant illness. So breast implant illness didn't even cross my mind until a few months ago. So within the last year, I've been hearing quite a bit about breast implant illness, and again, I just didn't really think anything of it. I was like, oh, mine are fine. It's just my Hashimoto's symptoms, my traumatic brain injury symptoms. And then in end of July, beginning of August, I just went down the YouTube rabbit hole hard on breast implant illness, okay? I read an article about the connection or possible connection between Hashimoto's and breast implants. And this just triggered something in my brain. And at that point, I got so scared and I was like, I want these toxic bags out of my body. But obviously you can't just get them out, right? You have to find a surgeon, you have to go through that whole process. And so that was really the turning point for me where I decided I want these out. And when I got them put in, I always told myself at the 10-year mark, I'm going to get them replaced just because it's a foreign object. I wouldn't want to push that. I know some women choose to wait longer and that's fine. But for me, I always knew it was going to be 10 years. And coming up on the 10 years in a couple of years, this was going through my head as well, and I was like, well, instead of getting them replaced, maybe it's time that I just get them removed. I've spent so much time, money, and energy on my health. Why am I trying to be the healthiest and the best version of myself, but I have these implants in my body still? And with Hashimoto's, this is an autoimmune condition. And when we think about breast implants, this is something foreign in our body. And so our immune system basically has to work with that. It has to go through it. And if our body's already inflamed, if our immune system's already working on overdrive, then it can just see these implants as one more threat. So, you know, my body's already, or my immune system's already attacking my thyroid gland because of Hashimoto's. Maybe now it's attacking the implants. I just, you know, continued to do my research, read so many blogs in these Facebook groups as well of women that had Hashimoto's and other autoimmune conditions and had breast implants and the relief that they felt after. Now, of course, not everybody's going to feel that relief, okay, important to know, but I knew that for myself, I came to the decision that it's time. I'm going to be happy getting these removed, even if I have the same symptoms. I'm just not in the same place that I was 8 years ago. I feel like I've done a lot of work on myself internally as well. Okay, so the next step was finding a surgeon. And after doing all of this research, I found out that there's different ways that they remove these implants. And sometimes it can actually be a harder surgery than it is to put them in. And so I figured out what type of removal I wanted, and that was an en-bloc full capsulectomy or full capsulectomy en bloc. I'm not sure how to say it, but basically what happens, sorry, this is my understanding of what happens, I'm not an expert in this, is that when you have your implant, scar tissue forms, and that forms around and forms a capsule. And so with the en bloc capsulectomy, what they'll do if they can is they remove all of that. So the scar tissue, the capsule, the implant, everything. I decided to go with this. One of my friends actually got her implants removed a few years ago and she didn't know about this, and so they, I guess, cut open the capsule, took out the implant, left a lot of the scar tissue, and she had issues down the road and then had to go for another surgery. And I just didn't want that. So I was like, if I'm gonna go under the knife, if I'm gonna go through this process, if I'm gonna go on all those medications post-surgery, just take it all out, okay? Get it out of my body, everything, as much as you can. Let's start fresh. And that's what I did. So I got a on-block full capsulectomy. I also decided to get a lift at the same time. And then with the lift, they did a little bit of nipple revision. So a lot of women I've talked to, it's pretty common for your areola, I guess, to stretch out with the implants because your skin is stretching. And so they just fixed all of that up. So yes, I have a lift as well, and I'm very happy with them so far. Okay, so what I did is I figured out what type of implant removal I wanted, and then I searched different surgeons local to my area that did that. I narrowed it down to 2. I met with both of them, and I just felt a lot more comfortable with one in particular. He was very educational, he was to the point, he told me exactly what he would do, why he would do it, the implications, and all of that type of stuff. So his name was Dr. Colin McInnes in New West. I'll make sure to link his info down below. I ended up deciding this in August. I got in end of October, which just seemed amazing to me that I could get in that fast. Met with him twice before my surgery, had my surgery, and then let's talk about what I've been doing since. Okay, so the day of the surgery, I believe I got to the surgical center around 7 or 7:30 in the morning, and then I left at 2 or 2:30. I don't remember much of it. All I remember is waking up in the recovery room and feeling super, super nauseous. And then my mom picking me up, driving home, and I was just sort of, I guess, chilling for the rest of the day. And I think I was on heavy pain meds for about 3 days or 3.5 days. All of those days just kind of felt like a blur. I was nauseous. It was just not a good time. And then 3 days, because then the 4th day I went to go get my drains removed. Drains, okay, they serve a good purpose, but they are so annoying and irritating. But anyways, I got those removed. That was just a relief. But really for those 3 or 4 days, I didn't do anything. I couldn't push myself up off the couch. I could hardly keep any food down. My mom actually made me lots of bone broth, so I had that, which was really nice and easy to digest. But other than that, I couldn't really keep anything down. From that point moving forward, things just started to feel better, especially when I came off of the pain medications, the anti-nausea medications. And so I want to share with you some of the supplements that I took when I came off of the medications. Keep in mind, always ask your surgeon if it's okay to take supplements, what you should be taking. Everything is different for everybody. So like I said, I had a lot of bone broth that just has really good qualities for our gut health. Keep in mind that all of the medications, the antibiotics, can disrupt your gut microbiome. So we want to give our gut lots of love. This is where collagen also comes in. Collagen can also help with the healing process. So this is the one that I used. I love it, and I will make sure to link all of these below as well. And then I really wanted to focus on my liver health. So our liver helps to detox everything, including all of those medications through our body. So there's actually 2 powders that I took. These are very similar. You don't need to take both. I just alternated them because they have different flavors. They taste a little bit different. That's the only reason why. Again, I'll make sure to link everything. So this one is MediPure. Both of these powders also came in pretty handy because they have protein in them, as well as lots of vitamins, minerals, nutrients to really support phase 1 and phase 2 detox, which is in our liver. Okay. I also took vitamin C and vitamin D. I just ran out of them a few days ago, so I don't have these here. Those are really good for your immune system and inflammation. And then I took this New Ethics product called OptiPure. Oh, there we go. Again, this just helps to support your liver. This also helped with my bowel movements. So when you're on all of those medications and antibiotics, you might be a little bit constipated. So you want to make sure that you're getting in some fibrous foods before your surgery. Lots of lemon water. I would have warm lemon water every day, pretty much all day, to be honest, with a little bit of sea salt. This can also just help to get things moving and help to support your liver. Okay, I also took this product called Clearzyme, which I'm still taking. So this can help to speed up the healing process. It can help to reduce scarring, and it's just really good for inflammation. It's a systemic enzyme. So that has been a game changer. Along with that, for 10 days after my surgery, I also took these sips, is specifically zinc. So this is a homeopathic remedy. This again can just really help with the healing process. You can also take zinc in a capsule form, a supplement form, but this is just my favorite. And then I also took some other sips, which is like the one I just showed you, just to help heal my gut lining, specifically after being on those antibiotics and medications. So those are all of the supplements that I took and I'm currently taking just to help support my body 4 weeks post-op, and I'm just gonna keep taking them until they run out. Okay, when it comes to my recovery journey, healing after surgery, there's a few things you're gonna wanna keep in mind. Number one is you are not going to be able to wash your hair, okay? You can't lift your arms above your head for a certain amount of time. Today, I'm doing pretty good. When I go up to here, I feel like a little bit of stretching, but it's not bad. Like, this is a pullover sweatshirt and I got it on. Today's the first day that I've actually tried to do that and it felt okay. But yeah, you can't wash your hair, so I had to get somebody else to wash my hair. The other thing I want to tell you about that is you can't lean back to wash your hair because it pulls, especially if you got a lift. So I actually had a chair, I wore shorts and my surgical bra and just bent forward and had somebody wash my hair in the shower. It was messy, but it did the trick. You just want to be prepared for that, okay? Speaking of that, since you can't put your arms up to put shirts over, I wore a lot of those you know, spaghetti strap tank tops from back in the day that are stretchy that you can just pull up from the bottom. Those were super convenient, and a lot of pajama shirts. Stock up on pajama shirts with buttons. They're going to be your best friend. Okay, something else that was an absolute game changer in my recovery that I don't know what I would have done without it. You don't need it, but it's going to make your life so much better, is this pillow. I actually have it beside me. It's massive. It's a giant U-shaped pillow. So what this does is it just supports you. So I have it on the couch, so when I'm sitting, it's just supporting me all around really well. And then I take it to bed with me. So again, it's supporting me because you don't want to roll onto your side. You don't want to sleep on your stomach. When I got my implants put in, I had to pile up pillows around me and those kind of shift all over the place. This bad boy stays in place. It's so comfy. It feels like a little hug. And then because it has two long pieces, you can put one under your knee for knee support. Okay, so where I am today, I'm 4 weeks post-op. I can wash my hair. Just the thing is, it starts to get sore if I'm scrubbing too much, so I just keep my elbows in by my side and go like this. So it's not the most ideal, but I get it done. And then same with blow drying. I just have to keep my arm really close to my body. But at least we can do it, right? I'm able to push myself up off the couch. Today's the first day actually that I took my dog for a walk on the leash by myself. He tends to just plant his whole body out of nowhere to go sniff something, and so that pulling really irritated me for a while. But today was the successful day. I took my dog for a walk on my own on leash. I put on a sweatshirt, pullover sweatshirt, and things are looking good. Driving, I definitely can drive, but if I'm doing a lot of turns, it does still start to just feel sore. So just something else to keep in mind. I would say I was able to start doing computer work part-time about 10 days after my surgery. So that's not a big issue at all. You know, obviously the main thing is making sure that you're off of your pain meds. And so I am still wearing the surgical bra. I can't remember the brand. I will link it below if I can find it online. This has been a game changer. I'm supposed to wear it for 6 weeks. And then after 6 weeks is when I can start to lightly work out again. Okay, let's talk about what I have noticed has changed since getting my implants removed. The first thing is my breathing. Okay, I'm not even kidding you. The night of the surgery, even though I was high on drugs, I could take a deep breath and it felt so good. I didn't even know that I couldn't breathe properly the past 8 years. Every time I'd go to a doctor or yoga class or, you know, physio, somewhere where someone was close to me and they're like, no, take a deep belly breath. And I'm like, I am. And they're like, no, you're not. Anyways, now I get it. I wasn't. So that was a huge relief. Other than that, I think I'm going to start to notice more symptoms as I continue to get back into my day-to-day routine, especially once I start to work out and all of that type of stuff. But it just feels like such a relief. I don't feel as puffy or heavy in my body. I don't really know how to explain it. I just feel very relieved and I feel like my body feels very relieved. Okay, now that I'm 4 weeks post-op, I just want to share with you 2 products that my surgeon gave me to help with scar healing. And so I was allowed to start using these at 3 weeks. So one is called the Scar Recovery Gel by Skin Medica. And so what I do is I just rub it gently all over the scars every 3 days. And then I cover it with this silicone tape. This brand is Nightingale Medical Supplies. And so yeah, it has silicone. So I will massage the scar gel on, and then I will just take strips of this tape to put over top. And you want to keep it on for minimum 12 hours. He told me to just keep it all on for 3 days and then switch it and repeat the process every 3 days. So I've been doing it for about a week now. The scars are starting to heal nicely. Okay, so this is what the surgical bra looks like. It does up in the front and then also on the top, which is nice. I do have that surgical tape with the scar gel on underneath, except for not on part of this side. So I can show you that's what part of the scar looks like now that's healing. But overall, I mean, I'm happy with the size and everything. My next video is going to be a Q&A. So I asked on my social media what questions you have about the process, the recovery, why I decided to get them out, anything. I'm just going to go through all of those questions on my next YouTube video. You can feel free to ask any below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss that next video. If you're thinking of getting your implants removed, feel free to reach out. I would love to chat with you. I've done so much research and I would just love to share my resources with you as well as everything that I learned. So thanks again and see you next time.